A peer review board has been set up by the ICAI with an aim to enhance those attributes of professionalism that serve to keep the profession of chartered accountancy in India in the forefront of the accounting and auditing profession in the world, to offer a better understanding of the revised peer review guidelines. We have with us CA Dayanivas Sharma, Central Council member of ICAI. Sir has been nominated as the Vice Chairman of Ind AS Implementation Committee and Digital Accounting Assurance Board. CA Dayanivas Sharma also serves as a member of several committees and has also served as the co-chairman of Direct Tax Committee of FTCCI. He has been covered by a coffee table book and recognized as Young India Visionary by IMG Innovative Media Group in the whole of UAE. We are happy to have you with us, sir. Over to you.
Thank you all. Again, I'm back before you people, and lucky to see Subhash Pai sir from MRPL, who has always been a great and encouraging person. Youngsters like me actually admire him a lot, and thank you very much, sir, for being there. It's a lot of people I'm able to see on the screen. It's Mangalore means for me is like reaching out, landing into our own home town. That is a kind of relation every person I can see and I can relate to and move on with. But one request to the the people is, can you make my other account also co-host? Is it possible? I need to share some presentation from there.
Yes, sir. We'll do it.
You made it. Thank you very much. So, first of all, one of the most important areas of our profession, which is peer review board. I'm really fortunate that I'm really fortunate that I am part of this board. I'm the chairman of this current board. And one thing I would like to share with you all people is, after 2002, there were multiple modifications which were being done. There is an echoing which is happening. Is it audible now? Yeah. Yeah, I think. Yeah, it's still echoing. Can from the stage people manage? No, Pi sir, primarily I have two gadgets, but one is on a mute completely. I generally use it that way. So let me try and hopefully I have put off the speaker. Is it audible now? It is echoing, right? Pradeep, is it echoing?
Sir, you're audible.
No, but it is echoing to me. Is it okay? I'll do one thing. I'll switch off from one and
You have
run
to
from
mute
there.
yourself on
Just
one
give me
account.
1 minute. 1 second.
Yeah, disconnect the audio on one device, sir. That should help.
Is it audible?
Yes, sir.
Is it fine now?
Yes, sir.
But still going actually. It's okay, fine. We'll try to manage, and I think it gets settled. So first of all, let me thank you all for giving me an opportunity to be a speaker also, apart from being a program director. It's indeed a pleasure to be, associated undoubtedly with all the three branches, and a lot of senior members are there. One request which is there to all people is I'm not going to take much of your time. I promise you that, in the shortest time, I'll take you through the entire process, and we'll make it very quick, and we all can go back happily home and get engaged with our work. So, friends, one important factor with regards to the peer review board is 2002 was the time when peer review board was formed, and it was very long thought, which our institute, our council members, our past presidents have actually worked on a continuous basis. And today we have this opportunity to tell that, this year, 2020, we have revamped the entire peer review mechanism altogether. And really happy to share, that this major modification which has come is coming from a perspective more digital and more user-friendly. And more important part is I'm going to take you through the important changes which have happened in the peer review board. And one more thing which I would like to tell you is it is going to be very critical for all the practicing firms going forward if they are getting appointed as auditor of a public sector bank branch also. Maybe there is a probability. And also for public sector undertaking, because RBI and C&AG both are envisaging to ensure that, the practicing firms which are peer reviewed only should be considered for giving allotment of audits, and it's going to be a major responsibility on the peer review board if such kind of scenario comes. So friends, I'll just take you through the important aspects. We need to evaluate where we are and how we need to take it forward. So quickly, I'll just take you through the full screen presentation. Is basically these are the people who are part of our entire current at the helms of affair, president, vice president, myself as a chairman, and Satish Gupta ji as vice chairman. And the most important part which I would like to share with you is what is a framework. We have 3 publications in the peer review board. One is called the Statement on Peer Review, which has been seen on the screen. Second, in the Handbook of Advisory for Practice Unit and Peer Reviewers. And third is on MCQs, which are actually been developed, FAQs, which have been developed. And we have a peer review manual, which is again the third publication which is there. The peer review manual actually takes you through the entire process. Earlier, we were thinking what we need to do, but now we are going to restrict it to the extent of, how the documentation and filing has to happen. What is peer review process all about? Undoubtedly, it's a principle of systematic monitoring of procedures adopted and records maintained while carrying out audit and assurance services in the course of one's professional responsibility to ensure and sustain quality. Unfortunately, you will be shocked to know that most of the disciplinary cases are actually happening and they are not going in favor of chartered accountants only because the documentation standards that need to be followed and maintained, that has not been done. We are not in compliance. We are not in compliance of SQC1 auditing standards and accounting standards in certain manner. But peer review board is a first line of defense. This is actually, we have created a new tagline which we are telling is, it is nurturing the profession to nurture professional. So it's basically what we are trying to do in this case is, rather than getting into a problem, peer review board is actually a hand-holding mechanism which is going to take you through the entire process of ensuring that you are filing documentation, internal office procedures, partner relationship, qualified relationship, article relationship, how that need to be maintained, documented. Tomorrow, God forbid, any kind of review is going to happen. This is going to be the first line of defense. Friends, one important factor which I would like to say is, the peer review is basically, example, my firm is there and Paisa's firm is there, where we are actually doing work on a regular basis from years together. But now the time has come where we need to take learnings from the experiences of each other. We have to hold hands of each other and ensure that, my learnings can give value add to you and your learnings can give value add to me. That is how this entire peer review process has been defined now. We don't want to act as a regulator. We want to act as a facilitator. We want to act as a first line of defense. Unfortunately, when any member goes for any kind of disciplinary, FRRB, QRB, any such review mechanism, whether it is including NAFRA, it is primarily the filing and documentation of your system is only going to be, supporting you and helping you out. So friends, let me just take you through what is the idea behind peer review. It's not a fault finding but a nurturing exercise. This is what I was trying to tell you. The review begins with the assumption that professional work professionally and end with an enhancement of those attributes of professionalism to serve to keep the Indian profession of chartered accountancy at the forefront of the accounting and auditing profession in the world. Today, we are the second largest accounting profession body in the world, and we are actually aspiring to be the world's number one. And if our practicing firms are not going to follow the best standards, it is going to be a different challenge when it need to be demonstrated before the external regulators and agencies. So here is the time where we need to really think about, see, unfortunately, the fact goes very simple with the statistics is 72% of the practicing chartered accountants in this country are sole proprietors. So what is the learning we have by sharing with each other? It's very limited. And unfortunately, when an article leaves and goes to for reaching his newer heights, our data also might be going with him, or we don't even know where the data is saved. This is where the entire peer review mechanism is going to help to ensure you that your files are being effectively maintained and properly documented. So even years after later, we can actually retrieve the data and ensure that it has been in proper compliance. I hope you are trying to understand the importance of why peer review and how peer review is all about. And most important part is now peer review exercise is being recognized by various regulators. When you talk about Security Exchange Board of India today, if you want to get appointed as a statutory auditor, whether it is a branch or a central of a public sector undertaking or listed entity for that matter, SEBI requires compulsorily the firm has to have the peer review certificate, but it is not restricted. Might be we might think that in Mangalore how many listed entities are there or what it is and how it is. But the fact goes very simple. If they are going to regulate and say that all the public sector undertaking branch audits as well as the public sector banks branch audit is going to be covered by peer review, at that point in time, if we are going to reach out to the market, peer review board might be the difficulty is they don't have the kind of scaling up which is required to be done. C&AG expecting, RBI expecting is that what I was discussing with you all people. Now, what is the objective of peer review is something which we need to really understand. Comply with technical, professional and ethical standards. Yesterday, we heard President talking about a lot of things, and a couple of them were primarily on the technical, professional and ethical standards. Balance sheets are being signed, Ind AS is being complied, GST work is being done, tax audit is being reported. We need to really understand what are all things happening across, and we need to really put forward what we need to do effectively and properly. Have in place proper system including documentation thereof, and amply demonstrate the quality of assurance service what we should be doing. So this is something which is the focus of the peer review board, followed with the definition of engagement standards, which has been revised now. Please understand all the certifications which we are doing are forming part of the assurance engagement, including if you are giving a net worth certificate. That is also part of the assurance standards. What is not forming part of the assurance engagement is the management consultancy services, internal audit, the other things which are being listed here, which I will not take much of your time. Technical, professional and ethical standards have been redefined, and that has been picked up and modified today in the peer review statement also. Whether the accounting standards which are being released by ICI, number 2, Ind AS which has been released, multiple engagement and quality standards, guidance notes, standard on internal audit, lot of things are being issued by our institute, and the compliance of this actually define the technical, professional and ethical standards. And as you all are aware, in 2020 we have released our new ethical code of ethics, which is applicable from 1st July 2020. And accordingly, my suggestion to you all people is, it's very interesting. I think we need to go through a particular process, and lot of positive things have come in the ethical standards, primarily from a point of view that, to what extent is like, we had a small blackboard which was required to be put only about a specific size. Now, as a chartered accountant firm, you can actually put a glow sign board also. So a lot of such positive things have actually been coming into the, modifications which are there. Peer review period is actually a 3 years period. which is very clearly defined. Every year completed is going to be added. Like we have 19, we'll be starting 20. But as of now, 19, 18, and 17 is the peer review period, and we give the certificate for 3 to 4 years time. Now, what is practice unit? All the chartered accounting firms, which is whether it a proprietary concern, partnership firm, or a LLP, is actually a practice unit, which is actually doing multiple kind of audits, which I'm going to discuss. L1 and L2 model, which is very clearly defined. Reviewers are those people who are chartered accountants, and one important point is the peer reviewer is not a firm which has been appointed. It is an individual chartered accountant who has been appointed. And you might be thinking that, why should I share my secrets with anyone? But today, when we are actually appointing any peer reviewer, he has to sign the confidentiality document, and then only the person is being given a peer reviewer role. Till such time, we don't even give any person any peer review, and God forbid any person is found misusing it. The only thing for him is basically a disciplinary action. So reviewers are also becoming very critical day by day. And now in the new code of new peer review statement, person can be taken as a peer reviewer only if he passes his peer review test. That is what we are going to discuss. We have now added tender monitoring group into peer review mechanism. Primarily, a lot of people are underquoting, and the quality of the practice is going down. So tender monitoring group, the moment it says that, go and do the peer review of this particular firm, it is going to initiate. Similarly, UDIN is going to be one of the biggest, support for our peer review mechanism, primarily from a point of view, what kind of audits and what kind of certifications which are being done. Out of 100, might be 99 are perfect, but only one person is actually ensuring that we are getting impacted in the profession. Now, I don't want to discuss about the powers of the council. How is the peer review board established? What are the meetings and all? Functioning of the board is review the work performed by the peer reviewer, collection of information, defining the scope, select and notify the practice unit, select 3 peer reviewers and seek their acceptance to be appointed as a peer reviewer, prescribed register to be maintained by the practice unit, and most important is issue advisories, order follow-on reviews, and third is basically issue peer review certificate. Now, let me just directly take you to the scope. What is the scope of peer review? Compliance with technical, professional, and ethical standards, which is one of the important scope of the reviewer. Quality of reporting, system and procedure for carrying out assurance services. I think this all can be read by us at any given point in time. But let me directly take you to the eligibility criteria, which is one of the most important thing, because now the new peer review board has redefined the fees, and you will be happy to know the highest fees can be paid to a peer reviewer is 5 lakh rupees. This is, yes, a reality, and we want more and more people to be empaneling with the peer review board, so that we actually enhance the quality of our profession by enhancing adding good quality people in the system. So a person to be qualified as a peer reviewer has 2 levels. Level 1 is basically a peer reviewer, and level 2, level 1 is a L1 entity, and level 2 is L2 entity. And similar is the case with peer reviewer is also L1 and peer reviewer is also L2. A person who has 10 years of experience as practice unit will be considered for the L1 entity, and he has been doing audit of L1 entities. That is the person who's going to be considered for L1, and L2 is again 7 years of experience which is there. Now, let me take you through the most important aspect, practice unit subject to peer review. Who are the firms? I think this is going to actually excite you more and make you understand where do we stand in the entire process of peer review. And if we are not going to do it, what is the impact also is I'm going to share. The central statutory audit of public sector banks, private sector banks, foreign banks, cooperative banks, and public financial institutions. Many of the chartered accountant firms, which has more than 7 partners, are always getting a surprise saying that, we are more than 7 partners, but why are we not getting central statutory audit? The reason of not getting central statutory audit is your firm is not a peer reviewed firm. And if your firm is peer reviewed firm, automatically the process and the evaluation criteria changes for all the C&AG public sector banks, or might be RBI and also cooperative banks for that matter. Central statutory audit of central or state public sector undertaking and a central cooperative society based on criteria. There are many firms which has multiple branches, but still they are not getting, is only because they are not peer reviewed firm, and many of the people don't know that they have to be peer reviewed for getting appointed as a peer, a central statutory auditor. Now, when you talk about central statutory audit of insurance companies, right? Statutory audit of asset management companies, statutory audit of entities which are listed on stock exchange, whether in India or abroad. Both. If you are not being appointed, you are not having a peer review certificate, SEBI directly asks you if you want to appoint a chartered accountant as your auditor. That means your person should have a valid peer review certificate in his hand. Otherwise, the person cannot be appointed as a statutory auditor. Is the same thing applicable if a public sector entity is a listed entity or a public sector bank is a listed bank. So in that case, if it is listed on the public sector, on the stock exchange, criteria by SEBI is that you should be actually holding the valid peer review certificate. Now, body corporate, including trust, which is covered under public interest entity, primarily we need to describe in detail at that later point in time. But let me take you to the next one is statutory audit of entities which have raised funds from public or banks or financial institutions of over 50 crore rupees requires to get themselves peer reviewed. Today, it is not a statutory requirement, but yes, going forward, maybe it will become a statutory requirement because NAFRA is getting into it, banking IBA is getting into it, and they might actually put a condition. Statutory audit of entities which have raised donations and or contribution over 50 crore rupees during the period under review. There are large organizations which have raised funds. Statutory audit of entities having net worth of more than 250 crore rupees at any given point in time should actually have a peer reviewed firm to be start doing a statutory audit. Equally, statutory audit of entities which have been funded by central or state government of over 50 crore rupees. Central statutory audit of regional rural bank is now put as a a new provision which has come, including the non-banking financial companies, and then the parent, subsidiary, associate, and joint venture of above entities. So these are the firms which are categorized as L1 firms, and you require peer review mechanism is not compulsory from the institute point of view, but the regulators are now insisting that the firms have to be peer reviewed. And only we have not more than 7,000 firms in this country which are peer reviewed. So don't expect more to come for you till the time you get into a peer review mechanism, and ensure that your firms are being recognized as a peer reviewed firm by most of the regulators across the country. Now, what is L2 entity? Statutory audit, internal audit, concurrent audit, system audit, tax audit, and or department review of branches or offices of public sector undertaking. I just got a call from a very large public sector undertaking that their branch auditor is not a peer reviewed firm, and it is a listed company. So even if you are a listed company and your branch, you are a branch auditor, your firm has to be actually a peer reviewed firm. Otherwise, we are subjected to multiple other issues. Similarly, non-banking financial companies, which are going to be smaller one, will be reported under this. And also statutory audit of entities which are net worth of over 5 crore rupees or an annual turnover of more than 50 crore rupees is going to cover under L2 criteria. UDIN generated, there have been instances where more than few thousands of UDINs are generated by an individual chartered accountant. We would like to really review those kind of situations because they are sometimes giving an impact on the profession. Followed with raise funds from public sector or banks, and also which has not been covered. So these are the criteria which are being put for L1 and L2 entities. You need to see which entity you are going to fall in. Within a very short time, we are going to shoot a mail to all the practice unit across the country to get themselves peer reviewed and make them actually evaluate which area they stand in. So that is going to be one of the most important parts. And now what we are actually talking about, a special case review. We have been seeing a lot of news coming across. So people have got the peer review certificate, but what is happening is they have been blacklisted by SEBI, they have been blacklisted by CNAG, they are blacklisted by Reserve Bank of India. In such kind of cases, we would like to do a special review. And this is something which is very important, application by auditee. You might not be aware, this is the very old provision. Your auditee, your client can request for a peer review to be done for your firm. and it may be a L1 entity or L2 entity, we do not know. And tomorrow, if this kind of things get triggered, it's going to be a different kind of challenge, which we need to really understand. So this is with regards to the peer review units. And let me take you through the practice. I think that is one of the most important criteria. I talked about the peer review work, and I talked about the practice unit, right? So now what I was trying to say you is, just I'm going to share with you the presentation, which will provide you information with regards to, one second. As I was saying, the new fees for the, I hope it's visible, right? This is the new structure of the fees, and sorry, yeah, this is the new structure of the fees. One second. This is the new structure of the peer review fees, and you will be happy to know that we have not impacted the small firms. We have only considered the large firms which are there. So today, if any firm which is doing more than 30 crores turnover, which is multiple in our this thing, the maximum fees is 5 lakh, and also the sample size is being modified to this extent. So friends, what I would like to say is, most important part is, let us actually really understand what we need to do with regards to peer review. Please understand, going forward, once the regulator is going to ask us, okay, whether your firm is peer reviewed, and example, if the branch statutory audit actually starts with that kind of thought process, I think we are going to go in a total different, mode. So these are the three publications which I was talking about. The first one is the peer review statement. That is, next is handbook on advisories, and this is a peer review manual. And we have now developed certain good collaterals for all our members to really understand. If you see the presentation, you can see that one professional is actually nurturing the other profession, and that is how we actually got the tagline: by nurturing professionals, we are nurturing profession. So friends, what I would like to tell you is, it is actually the first line of defense, and let us understand and really take cognizance of what is required to be done and how much that need to be done. And my request to you all people is, I don't know where it has gone. Uh, So primarily, I had very little time, but I wanted to complete it by 6:30. We are left with 4 more minutes. If you have any questions, you can ask. Otherwise, might be we can take a detailed session sometime in Mangaluru branch, Udupi branch, and Shimoga chapter. We can combine and make it happen. That how things can be developed. And today, you can actually get empaneled for the peer reviewer. As a peer reviewer, also you can actually request for the peer review of your firm also. Tomorrow, God forbid, if the bank statutory audit, branch statutory audit requires, we should be ready with this peer review process, because it takes its own sweet time to complete the entire peer review. You need to appoint a person, and you need to take it forward accordingly. So with this, I thank you all very much for giving me an opportunity to be with you all people here. And I request the stage to come on the screen, or am I audible? So if any questions are there, I'll take it up, or might be we can have a detailed presentation at a later point in time, which will ensure that we all are together to understand the entire nuances. I thought I'll take you whether large trust doing public charities to be audited by L1 entity. Chandrakant sir, namaskar. Thank you very much for asking this question. Primarily, if you are a public, I'm not understanding why this screen is not actually opening up. Chandrakant sir, it's basically, if I just showed you that there are entities which have raised funds of more than a specified limit. Those are required. Our suggestion as a institute our suggestion, because peer review statement is a recommendatory. We are not enforcing that you need to have peer review certificate, but now the regulators are expecting that we should have it. So tomorrow, if any department is going to say that, you need to have a peer review certificate for getting appointed. An example, if the Society Registration Act will require that you need to be a peer reviewed firm to be done, then at that point in time you will be required to do. But the biggest point is, sir, what is happening, I'll tell you. One more question was being asked, that what is the advantage of the smaller firms today. Friends, let me just be very specific. I was part of the disciplinary committee last year, and I'm telling you, it is a heartbreaking stories which we go through. Unfortunately, all our chartered accountants have done a great job all throughout. What has been happening in past is, there are two partners or two brothers who have been running a business, and they had a family fight. So they are dragging the chartered accountants into their fight and filing a cases against our chartered accountants. And we know the fact that our chartered accountant is not part of the entire ladai. But only thing is, when we are asking certain documentations to come and be tabled on the disciplinary, it is not actually helping us out. So the fact is, the best part to see, it is not a pain. It is primarily, you will understand, might be you have not been following certain parameters of auditing. And today, one more important factor, all the tax audits, all the GST audits, all the certifications come under assurance services. Please understand. And God forbid anyone raises a complaint and tomorrow institute calls for any kind of information, the challenge is going to be the documentation. If it is not available in the file, let us put heart and hand together. We do so many branch audits. How many files are in shape? So peer review will guide you of what information should be there. You should go through the peer review manual, which is very important. That is what is going to give you a lot of information. So the point is, it is going to give a different kind of advantage in enhancing the intrinsic value of your firm. We have been doing a lot of work. Today, income tax department sometimes actually threatens. Unfortunately, those data is lying somewhere. We don't even know. Our article might have worked and he might have left. He is done with a good thought process. We don't even know which computer system has which client data. So if we are not going to follow some good standards with regards to the documentation procedure, which peer review board guides you? See, today, if there is a peer review happening, then only you will get to know, okay, these are the parameters I need to follow, right? So there are a lot of things. Is the starting point is to apply to institute for appointing a peer review? Yes, Satish sir, this is actually a requirement. You need to write to peerreviewboard.ici.org, and you will be receiving a declaration which will be given by the institute, and accordingly then 3 peer reviewers will be selected out of your state, not state, your city. That is something very important. You need not spend money for their travel and all. The fees has been fixed, and the names will come to you, and those people will come, and there is a beautiful checklist which is there. It is, sir, we will not do it otherwise. It is important that we apply it now. Otherwise, it is at the later point in time is not going to be of a great value and support. So once a form applies to a peer review online and web based, please enlighten. No, this form is not a peer review. Yeah. So as of now, it is not an online process. Very soon, might be in next 2 months time, we'll have the entire process which is going to be uploaded on a site, and this entire peer review mechanism is going to be following all the criterias. And one more mail which is going to be received by most of the chartered accountants. If you want, I can share that document. 1 second, just give me a moment. I'll just just a second. I'll just share with you certain very important thing. 1 second. I'm just going to share with you a screen. Mm. If you see, are you able to see? Are you able to see the screen, Pradeep?
Yes, sir.
Are you able to see the screen?
Yes, sir. Yes. Yes.
Now just see this particular thing, how it is going to be, giving lot of information. This mail is going to be received by most of the, all the practicing units, including the proprietary concerns or the large firms. Example, you have to type your firm registration number. Right. I'm just going to show you how this beautifully it is being done. So it will give you a lot of input and idea how we have to grow and make things happen. Now, the moment I press submit, if you see, right, are you able to see the screen, right? Now, just see, there is a firm registration number. This is all auto-populated data. Whether I have partner, it is a partnership firm, 11 partners, who is the partner in charge, what is his mail ID, what is his office address, right? Are you able to see this? If you see the question number 19, date of expiry of current peer review certificate is 29/7/2021, right? Have you applied for renewal of peer review certificate? You need to go and select here yes or no, primarily. Then here you will get the entire issue certificate. What are the issue certificates you have been issued till date? Then furthermore, when you want to fill up the data, what is the current status of your firm? Whether have you applied it? If you have applied, whether you have filed what? Whether it is a hard copy, soft copy, everything is going to get collected because some data is not been available. So we are trying to collect this information, right? Now the beauty is here. Now you see, in case of L1 entities, right, select under mentioned insurance services. You just have to go and click all what example, if I am the statutory auditor of a listed entity, I need to go here and click it here. That's it. And you need not do. Furthermore, if you, this is for L1 entities, all the criterias are beautifully put into that, so there is no confusion. Now there are L2 entities which are there, right? In this, whether you are doing any statutory audit, what is that we have been doing? Now, furthermore, if you go specific comments, if you want to upload any information here, you can upload the information here. If you want to put any, you have coordinated with a peer review board, you can upload this document here itself. Now, what is happening is we wanted to also give old criteria which was there. So that old criteria is also actually put in here. Now, ultimately, you have to put a tick here and say that I have actually complied with all these things. Moment you are going to put this information, nothing is going to happen for you. Technically, this information is getting recorded with the institute, not for any other purpose, only because we would like to know how many firms are there which are sitting into the criteria of L1 or L2. So till here, we have actually gone. So the question was asked. I thought I'll share with you all people this input from my side. Just firm name and date formation, firm details become public view. What details are shared? Any password control? It is totally, no one can change anything. So it is only the person who has the details can only put the data. Once the data is put in and submitted, the data goes off from the screen. It goes to the backend, so no information can be seen by anyone. So that is a comfort which is there, right? So thank you very much for giving me an opportunity today to be part of our Mangalore branch with Udupi and Shimoga chapter. I am seeing Panarad sir, who is again one of the dearest person I have actually interacted with. Panarad sir, you are one person who has always been guiding all of us. Continue doing it, and we will always be there and look forward for all your support and participation. I think 2 days of learning started with Mohandas Pai sir, E.R. Ramesh sir. Today, Ullas Kamath sir was amazing. Yesterday, President, Vice President was there. Then we had Girish Ahuja sir and many other senior members who have been part of the entire discussion. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to be a program director for this, great, memorable, and life rememberable event of Golden Jubilee of Mangalore branch. It is a pleasure, and only pleasure. I am carrying with me lot of memories, which I had shared with SS Nayak sir and many other chartered accountants in the Mangalore branch. You just elevated my entire feel good factor to a next level. At any given point in time, I am always available for all these chapters and branches, without any hesitation. Don't worry, 24 by 7, 365 days in a whole year. You can reach out to me. I am there with you all people. Thank you very much for giving me all the support, encouragement all throughout, even till date and going forward maybe. Thank you very much, Geeta. You have always been a great lady. What we can say is Geeta Ma in Mumbai and Geeta Ma in South is same. So continue doing your best part. And from my side, I sign off because I need to go for another meeting. Thank you very much.
Can I start? Thank you, sir, for your insight on peer review and its significance in our profession. We cherish your relationship with the Mangalore Institute and thank you for today's session. You are truly a person filled with enthusiasm, and we shall remember what you said in your e-souvenir. May we work together and stay together for years to make our institute flag fly high to become world's largest accounting body from the present status of second largest. Thank you. We are pleased to have with us CAS Pannaraj, Regional Council Member of SIRC of ICAI, Ballari. Sir, we request you to give us your message.
Yes, sir. Can you hear? Hello, can you hear me, sir? Yeah. I was thinking you from, I have been with you since from yesterday, but I couldn't talk to you. Thank you very much, sir. Thanks a lot for all your help and cooperation for this Golden Jubilee celebrations. Really, without your to such a level of grand success, it would not be possible. So thank you very much once again on behalf of Mangalore branch. So over to the chairman. I think he is online and he is waiting out there.
Thank you, Geeta ma'am. We have with us CAS Pannaraj. Over to you, sir.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Oh, sir, good evening all. And it is a really great moment, that is Golden Jubilee celebrations with golden memories for 2 days, simply because most of the speeches also were very golden in character also. So bringing in president, bringing in and even Ullal sir also spoke very well. And it is really very great to be part of this program. I want to compliment each one of you, especially Nayak sir. ನೀವು ನಿಜವಾದ್ರೂ ಒಬ್ಬ ನಾಯಕರಾಗಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀರಿ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ. ಈ pandemic we are fearing to go out in Ballari because of widespread pandemic here, and you are the one who could Jubilee celebrations online and in a very befitting manner. And I am doubly happy to know, only yesterday I came to, I am there in the sessions throughout, excepting for some time today. I had to be there for some other session during Girish Ahuja sir. So anyway, I will be watching his session over YouTube, this recording. I was, it was who was person raised the 71 in regional council and also became first secretary at the SIRC level. So another person also would have made Mr. Kamath sir. Vaman Kamath sir also missed very narrowly sometime. So the representation in SIRC was spearheaded, especially from other than Bangalore area by Mangalore. So you are the leaders for all the official chartered accountants, and you have a great team and great capability to do the programs, and whole team and all the chartered accountants and students fraternity. I wholeheartedly congratulate each one of you for the great program, and also thank on behalf of Mangalore branch Dayanivas ji for providing all the speakers and to be we are center that withdrawn or I'd say taken away by their support, and always Dayanivas Sharma and also Prasanna Kumar sir are very supportive to smaller branches also, and these are the two members, one from Telangana, one from Hyderabad, Andhra Pradesh. They are helping us out, and we wish somebody would make it to the Central Council from Karnataka next time at least. So from the bottom of my heart, congratulations to all of you, and also giving me this opportunity. I thank Mr. Naik sir also for having done this great program. Thank you all, and wish you all the best in the future. Thank you.
Sir, thank you for your feedback. With this, we come to the end of the two-day celebration of the Golden Jubilee of the founding day of Mangalore branch. I request our chairman, CASS Naik, to offer his closing remarks.
Good evening, friends. It's a great honor for us that even though it is a virtual celebration, practically we could get all tall leaders in our profession. In spite of their busy schedule, we could invite all tall leaders in our profession. Let's give a big hand for all our tall leaders and stalwarts in the profession. Learning is a continuous process. As our CA Dayanivas Sharma sir told, feel good factor. Sir, if you all feel good, definitely we all feel better. So today we cherish this momentous occasion of Golden Jubilee because of all you leaders made it possible, very success. So there is a saying, he who does not know that he does not know. He is a fool. Avoid him. He who knows that he does not know, he is a student. Teach him. He who does not know that he knows, he is sleeping. Awake him. He who knows and knows that he knows, he is a leader. Follow him. Sir, we have followed all tall leaders in the profession from yesterday until today, starting from our ICAI President Atul Kumar Gupta ji, Vice President Nihar Jambu Saria ji, then our CCM Dayanivas Sharma ji, then yesterday's great speakers, to start with CA Mohandas Pai sir ji, then CA PR Ramesh sir, then today CA Ullas Kamath's excellent speech we heard, then followed by our Abhishek Murali, young and energetic leader in our profession and secretary of SIRC. Then we had brainstorming session and most excited session liked by all, A to Z of capital gains, by one and only proficient person, author, and he is a doctorate Dr. CA, Dr. Girish Ahuja sir, and finally peer review guidelines by our CA Daya Nivas Sharma ji. Our thanks go to all these people who have made this program grand success. Thank you sir, one and all. Last but not the least, I would like to express one thing, fear. We all are in fear, but definition of fear is forget everything and run, or face everything and rise. We have chosen the second selection, and we hope that we have faced everything and we have risen to this extent, and definitely we will try to rise higher levels with all your blessings. Thanks to all the members and students, those who are registered in large number. Our registration crossed more than 700. Thanks to all our fraternity. Thanks to all our CA Parivar for watching the show in Nammakudla live channel, and all over the world our fraternity people also watched in Zoom, YouTube and Facebook. Thanks to all of them. Last but not the least, I would thank my fellows in the committee members who have made this program grand success, and we cherish this golden jubilee memory forever. Thank you. Then before closing, let's have Jana Gana Mana and let us close. Please rise. Let us sing together. Jana Gana Mana Adhinayaka Jaya He Bharat Bhagya Vidhata, Punjab Sindhu Gujarat Maratha Dravida Uchala Ranga, Vindhya Himachala Yamuna Ganga Uchala Jaladi Taranga, Tava Shubha Name Jage, Tava Shubha Ashisha Maghe, Gahe Tava Jaya Gata, Jana Gana Mangala Dayaka Jaya He Bharat Bhagya Vidata, Jaya He, Jaya He, Jaya He, Jaya 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 He. Bolo Bharat Mata ki Jai, ICI, ICI की जय, ICI मैंगलोर की, बोलो सब CA परिवार की. Thank you very much.